Welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. I have done 2 drafts now, and I wanted to take you over and look at what those drafts ended up looking like, what I put together for a team on each one. You can see I did Empire Strikes Out. That's a $20 Yahoo League. And Random City Sports Ballers, which is a $50 Yahoo League. Both are head-to-head, not rotisserie. So let's take a look at Empire Strikes Out first here. What I came up with for this draft was, my strategy. I've talked about it. I want home runs. I want RBIs. I want wins. I want strikeouts. I want to try to dominate those categories the best I can, and I'll take what I can on the other categories. So, here on this team, you can see my first pick was Aaron Judge. I was happy with that. I was the first pick overall, and I took Aaron Judge. You know how I feel about Aaron Judge and his home run production, and, that's, to me, he had an amazing season last year. He hit .311. He had 16 stolen bases, 131 RBIs, 62 home runs, and 133 runs. Anybody who had Aaron Judge on their team did extremely well, probably made the playoffs. So, since I was first pick, that meant for the second round, I was the last pick in that round, but then I was first pick in the third round, so I had back-to-back picks. With those picks, I took Paul Goldschmidt and Mike Trout. So, I pretty much secured what I was going after early in the draft. I made sure I had home runs, and I made sure I had RBIs. I was good to go. After that, let's take a look down here. I went after pitchers. You can see I had Carlos Rodon from the Yankees. I have Shohei Ohtani from the Angels and Kevin Gausman from Toronto. Those are my top 3 there. And, I'm pretty darn happy with those 3 because I've got the strikeouts. I'm looking at great wins. I'm very happy with how this draft went. So let's take a look at the actual draft itself. That's my team. Here, let's put my team back up. I got Varsho at catcher, Goldschmidt at first, Muncy at second. I waited a little long. Eugenio Suarez at third, Willy Adames at shortstop, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, and Mitch Haniger in the outfield, Matt Chapman and Joey Meneses at the utility position. And strangely enough, I don't normally put bats on my bench more than just 1. This time I took 3. But these guys here, Marcell Ozuna and Patrick Wisdom, they are temporary. Unless they have a great run, they're not staying on the team because I'm going to replace those with people always come up. There's always a player that comes up, a pitcher that's just doing amazing things nobody expected, a batter who is having a season that is just out of character for him. So your last 2 picks in the draft, don't count on those fellas being on your team. All right, and down here in pitching, I have Rodon, Ohtani, Bednar, and Clay Holmes at my relief pitchers. It's a little bit of saves. Gausman, Joe Ryan, Brady Singer, Jeffrey Springs, and Sonny Gray finish off the starting pitchers. And I have Giovanni Gallegos as my, I use them throughout the season to fill in, get some quality innings. So I take a relief pitcher and fill in for some quality innings through the week. All right, so it's a pretty good lineup. Let's take a look at what the draft looked like, because this is what matters to a lot of people, because you may not have had a draft yet. But this is how they're looking right now. In the first round, it was Judge, Trey Turner, Francisco Lindor. That's a weird pick in the first round. Acuna Jr., Jose Ramirez, Julio Rodriguez, Kyle Tucker, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, batter, Garrett Cole. That rounds out the first round. Now, this guy who took Garrett Cole in the first round came right back with Corbin Burns in the second round. Now, that's a good thing that he did right there in some ways. If you can dominate in pitching by getting the 2 top pitchers, you're gonna have probably a playoff-bound team. The problem with it is those first 2 don't always end up the top 2. He's hoping for that. So anyways, it's Corbin Burns, Yordan Alvarez, Freddie Freeman, Sandy Alcantara, Manny Machado, Bobby Witt Jr., Jacob deGrom, Bo Bichette, Pete Alonso, Will Smith catcher. It's another weird pick. Rafael Devers, Mike Trout by me, then Paul Goldschmidt by me, Marcus Semien, Jose Altuve, Justin Verlander, Fernando Tatis, Max Scherzer, Edwin Diaz, Shane McClanahan, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Julio Urias, and Emmanuel Clase. Okay, now there's some weird picks in there, okay? I think that Lindor in the first round, I'm not doing that. Will Smith in the second round, I'm not doing that either. And then he came back for Altuve in the third round. That's actually a good pick. That's of those, I think that's his better pick. So all the really weird picks were made by the same people. Now, the other things here, you got Edwin Diaz and Emmanuel Clase went in the third round. I think that's early to be taking a closer. I just don't think you get the value from that spot. It's too early. But some great picks happened throughout here. Pete Alonso made it through almost back to me. That's expected. But for Goldschmidt to get back to me, that was not expected. I did not think I would be able to get there. I thought I would have Marcus Semien at second base. Shortstop and second base. And remember how I told you I waited too long and ended up with Max Muncy as my second baseman? Well, right there's why. I was going to have Semien, but to be able to have Goldschmidt and Trout instead of Semien, I just felt like I needed to get there. I needed to do that. So a lot of these other things, they go pretty much according to plan. I know you can see the screen up here. Harris, Arenado, Arozarena, Aaron Nola, Brandon Woodruff, Dylan Cease, Corey Seager, Spencer Strider, Jazz Chisholm, Ty France, Matt Olson, and Carlos Rodon. So in the fourth round, we had 5 more pitchers go off the board. Okay, 5 more pitchers in the fourth round. And then in the fifth round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So by the end of round 5, pitching has really been grabbed. I mean, that's a lot of pitchers gone. 18 pitchers are gone at the end of round 5. So in a lot of these leagues, you're going to see a lot of people will come after the pitching, and for good reason. You know, you're going to build around pitching or you're going to build around bats. Everybody's going to do a different thing. I got my pitchers in round 4 and 5, Rodon and Ohtani. And then in round 6, I got Gausman. So I used 3 consecutive rounds on pitchers. Brandon Drury right there went a little bit early. No wonder I didn't get him. Okay. Anyways, now we come back here into rounds. Well, some of the other picks that are interesting going on throughout here. Xander Bogaerts. I honestly believe that I can do better. I took Willy Adames here? Yeah, I took Willy Adames. I like Willy Adames. I like Dansby Swanson. I can get them a couple of rounds later, and they're the same guy as Xander Bogaerts, basically. Kyle Schwarber lasted until round 5. That's a good pickup in round 5. Same guy took a closer, Ryan Presley. Alex Manoah went with the 8th pick in the 6th round. It's just so much interesting stuff going on here. And in the 7th round, I came back with Dalton Varsho, who qualifies at catcher, but he's an outfielder. And the reason I did that is because I can have that's like Travis Kelce being your tight end. Varsho qualifying at catcher, that's significant. He's going to have a lot more playing time than most other catchers because he's playing in the outfield now. He is going to be a Toronto's outfielder. It looks like his left field is going to be his designation. So he's going to get a lot more playing time than most catchers, which means he already hit 27 home runs last year. He may be on pace for above 30 home runs this year. And so this part of the draft, everybody is grabbing what they want to round out their team with. We're at 7, 8, and 9. One thing I like to do in this area is make sure I've shored up my infield as best as possible. And I should have grabbed a closer in here, but I didn't do too bad, where I got David Bednar and Clay Holmes in round 10 and 11. That's actually, I would have had Camilo Doval probably. I probably would have still had Clay Holmes because a Yankees closer is always a good idea. Then I come back around for Eugenio Suarez. I talked about him earlier in my videos. He is good for the home runs, my favorite category. And a pitcher again, Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan. Had a fine season last year, and I'm hoping he comes back the same way this year. Mitch Haniger came to me in the 14th round. If he can avoid the injury bug, he's going to improve significantly. And Matt Chapman, he's utility / third base. Well, sometimes Suarez gets into slumps, and I've got Chapman to help make up for that. I know Chapman's a little old, but it's not too bad. Coming back around, I came at the pitchers in round 16 and 17 again, where I got Brady Singer and Jeffrey Springs. Then in round 18, I took a chance on the young Joey Meneses. This young fella, he had a fine year last year in the limited time that he played. I think he had a total of just 220 or something at bats. But he's going to be playing more full time this year, first base outfield. I feel very comfortable with him being a chance that I took. It was round 18, and in this position, you're taking chances. Sean Murphy at catcher. That's actually an interesting one. The truth behind that pick, interesting story behind that pick, I had to go out and take care of something for one of my dogs outside. So when I went out, I came back, and my pick, I overestimated how long they would take on their picks. I came back, and it auto-picked for me Sean Murphy because he was next in line on the Yahoo draft list. Not on my list. Not on my list. He's on the Yahoo draft list, and I hadn't set up any queue. If I had set up my queue, it would have taken the next player in my queue. I should have set that up. I generally thought it would take them longer to get around. Then come back with Sonny Gray. I'm taking a chance on him. If he has a good couple of games, good. Then we're at Marcelo Zuna and Patrick Wisdom. Like I say, these late round picks, you're trying to find, I maybe should have taken like Merrill Kelly, Merrill Kelly from Arizona, starting pitcher. That, I really should have looked at that. I should have. Feel bad about that. Maybe Garrett Whitlock. How about that? But we'll see how Wisdom works out. We'll see how, these guys could work out fine. But Gallegos, he's going to be fine. Anyways, that's my draft for The Empire Strikes Out. And what I can do is I can hold this here for a second. You can pause the video and look at how these rounds went, and I'll do that again here in a second. So this is round 4, 5, and 6. You can take a look at how these went. Round 7, 8, 9. Round 10, 11, 12. Round 13, 14, 15. Round 16, 17, 18. Round 19, 20, 21. And round 22, round 23. So take a look through those and see what you may have improved or want to do differently for your own team. But here you can see how an entire draft went for a Yahoo $20 pay league. Anyways, good luck with your draft, and don't forget to have fun.